So shall we start? Greetings to all. I welcome all joinees of this webinar on mental health and well-being organized by Pahal Horizon, a distinguished international journal. We envision a world where research plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of society, enhancing our understanding of human behavior and contribution to sustainable development. Though through this webinar, we are taking initiative to let understand that by having open conversations and raising awareness about mental health, we can help students how to recognize that what is the problem with them, how to recognize the symptoms of anxiety and depression. This webinar will help to understand the importance of self-care and mental well-being and handle the pressures and also reduce the stigma associated with having mental health difficulties. We are fortunate to have Hibralem Zewdu. She is a visionary young woman with aspirations to become a social-oriented entrepreneur and a global advocate for youth sustainability and mental health. With over 11 years of dedicated youth volunteer experience, she holds various roles, including lecturer, volunteer, youth leader, and founder of Hibralem Sustainability and Mental Health Advocacy Project. She has been recognized for her contributions, winning 3 different youth engagement contests. These contests focused on raising awareness about green jobs for youth, combating gender-biased violence, and promoting the accessibility and rights of persons with disability. In addition to her local initiatives, Hibralem is a member of UNESCO's Youth and Disability Engagement Advisory Group. She is also a candidate for the United People Global Sustainability Leadership 2024, where she works for SDG 3 to ensure healthy lives and promote mental well-being of all ages. She strongly believes that mental health is a fundamental human right and advocates for more frequent discussions on this topic. We welcome you on behalf of Pahal Horizon and are thankful that we got an opportunity to hear you, ma'am. Before starting a talk, I request all the participants to kindly open their cameras so that we can have a group photograph. I request all the candidates present to kindly open their cameras. Be comfortable. So that we can have a group photograph as a memory. I thanks all for their presence in this webinar. It's always like I don't believe in quantity, but it is a quality, and a dedicated few can make a difference. And on this note, I welcome you, ma'am. We are eagerly waiting for your talk. Please, ma'am, over to you.
So thank you so much. I'm so excited to meet you all too. So, and also I am so honored to be here to present about or to discuss about mental health and well-being. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So if I may start my presentation, so I will proceed.
Sure, ma'am. We are waiting.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen first. So can you see my screen?
Yes, yes. It's
Okay.
visible.
Okay. So sorry for, but before I start, sorry for turning off my camera because this here my network is unstable. So I will apologize for that.
No issues, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. So, also, as I mentioned before, so I'm so honored to be here today to discuss a topic that is not only close to my heart, but essential to the well-being of each and every one of us, mental health and well-being. So, in the world where physical health often takes center stage, it's imperative to shine a light on the equality, vital aspect of our mental well-being. So, as I have been introduced very amazingly, I will proceed to other uh, a presentation of mine. So, as earlier mentioned, my name is Hibralem. So, I have completed my MSc in fashion design in Bahardar University. And I can say I am a visionary young woman who aspires to become a socially oriented entrepreneur and a global advocate for youth sustainability and mental health. So there is this quote I love most and proved it to be true in my life journey, that self-care is not being selfish. So we cannot serve from an empty vessels. So these quotes emphasize the importance of prioritizing self-care and mental well-being. And it reminds us that taking care of ourselves is not selfish, but necessary for our health and ability to support others. And just as we cannot pour from an empty cup, we cannot effectively care for others if we neglect our own needs. And this quote serves as a powerful reminder to prioritize self-care and mental wellness in our lives. So I want you to prioritize your self-care. So it's not being selfish to care for oneself. So when I come to, so now I will share you a journey of resilience and innovation and hope in the face of hardship. It's a story that exists disciplines, professions, and personal circumstances, and a story of overcoming challenge and creating solutions. So my journey of mental health advocacy begins with the heartbreaking realization. So I'm so happy to share you my experience and my story. So today I'm here not just as a researcher, but as a testament to the power of resilience and determination in the face of adversity. So my journey into the realm of mental health began not in the halls of academia, but within the walls of my own home, amidst the struggle of my loved ones. So I remember it was a period of profound disturbance, and my sister brimming with expectation for university life, and found herself fall into a darker deep when her dreams were shattered by the weight of unexpected challenges. So depression and mental illness become unwelcomed, so guests in our lives. So their presence in lingering for over a decade as she grappling with the medications and their side effects. So I remember that the effects that body change, face scars, and so on. And then there was my brother, a struggle with drug addiction, compounded our family's suffering, and our days blurred into nights filled with pain as we clung to the hope that this nightmare would soon end. So, in the midst of this challenge, I made a decision to channel my suffering into actions. And despite not being a medical student, I embarked on a mission to explore alternative and complementary treatments for mental health. Uh, is there any problem? Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Yes, you
audible.
are audible, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I thought I hear some noise behind, so that's why I stopped. So and on my journey to, as I was embarked on my journey to pursue my MSc dissertation, I knew that I could not turn a blind eye to the suffering that had challenged my family and countless others like us. So this led me to the realm of aromatherapy and body image therapy and color therapy. So each thread of research woven into the fabric of my project within an integrated purpose to offer a glimmer of hope to those suffered by the flames of mental illness. Uh, but truth to be told, it was very challenging, and I refused to let obstacles deter me. Even as I navigated the challenge of pregnancy and early motherhood at the time being, the path was so hard and full of doubts and uncertainties. But with each passing day, my determination grew stronger. And so I stand here today, not just as a researcher, but as a herald of hope. And my dissertation, fused a fashion and therapy, stands as a testament to the boundless possibility that emerge when we dare to think beyond conventional boundaries. So, through the creation of garments infused with the essence of healing of oil and tailored individual body shape, I witnessed firsthand the transformative power of holistic treatment approach. But beyond the tangible outcomes lies a deeper truth that within each of us lies the capacity to effect change regardless of our backgrounds and circumstances. So, as we navigate the complexity of life, let's never forget the importance of tending our mental well being. For it is only by nurturing our own resilience that we can hope to eliminate the path for others in their darkest hours. So, on this time, I urge you to embrace your own journey with courage and conviction, for it's in the vessel of hardship that we discover the true extent of our strengths and resilience. And remember, no matter how discouraging the road ahead may seem, the power to make difference lies within each and every one of us. So, with the seed of compassion sown in during my MSc dissertation, my journey into mental health advocacy took root. And harnessing the insights gleaned from my research, I began on a new chapter, transforming my academic project into agro business venture. And driven by a burning desire to offer a holistic solution to mental health challenges, I embarked on the development of aromatherapeutic products, each formulation crafted with care, infused healing oils to nurture the mind, body, and soul. So when the customer buy my products, use my products, so the aroma that treated on the products will go move up to their brain, and their mentalness will be their mental health will boost it. So this was my business. So as I navigate the intricate landscape of entrepreneurship, my mission remains steadfast to destigmatize mental illness and foster a culture of holistic well-being. And so my mental health advocacy journey continues, fueled by the unwavering belief that every step forward brings us closer to a brighter and more compassionate world. Are you with me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes.
So, uh, uh, as we know, we live in a world where mental health is often overlooked and misunderstood. And it's time we recognize that mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's essential to our overall quality of life. So, and it is not merely the absence of illness, and it's about thriving and feeling fulfilled and being able to cope with life's ups and downs. So, But first and foremost, let's clarify what mental health truly means. And it is not just the absence of mental illness, but rather a state of emotional resilience, psychological balance, and social connectedness. And it's about how we cope with the normal stress of life, how we navigate relationships, and how we find meaning and purpose in our existence. So, but maintaining mental health is not always as easy. Yeah, we all know that. But um, we live in a society that, because we live in a society that often places unrealistic expectation on us, perpetuates a stigma surrounding mental health issues, and sometimes they neglect the importance of self-care. But however, acknowledging our struggles and seeking support are not sign of weakness, but rather acts of courage and strength. Well-being, on the other hand, it refers to our overall state of health and happiness, encompassing various dimensions of wellness, including physical, emotional, social, and also spiritual aspects. And it reflects our subjective experience of life satisfaction, fulfillment, and purpose. So, when we come to the significance of mental health and well-being in our overall quality of life, cannot it cannot be overstated at the first place, and there are some points that we will see, and the reasons why they are crucial. So mental health and physical health are closely interconnected, and when we have poor mental health, we can negatively impact physical health outcomes, increase the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, and so on. So, and positive, when we have positive mental health, and it fosters empathy, compassion, and effective communication. So, enhancing our ability to form meaningful connection with others and maintain healthy relationships. So, after all, mental health and well-being are essentials for optimal performance and productivity in the workplace. So when we see employees with a good mental health are more engaged, creative, and motivated, leading to higher level of job satisfaction and overall productivity. And also when we prioritize our mental health, we experience greater life satisfaction, happiness, and sense of purpose. So mental health well-being are not just individual concerns. They have broader implications for our communities and society as a whole. And healthy communities are built on a foundation of mental well-being, fostering social cohesion, resilience, and collective thriving. So uh, we uh, we also have to acknowledge the challenges that many individuals face when it comes to the accessing mental health care. So stigma, lack of awareness, limited resource, lack of mental health literacy, cultural linguistic barriers, logical barriers are can all act as a barriers to getting the help and support they need. So it's all up to us, all of us, to break down these barriers, to advocate for change, and to create supportive environments where everyone feels comfortable seeking help. So when we see there are common mental health disorders, the first one is anxiety disorder, depressive disorder, post-traumatic self stress disorder, and bipolar disorder. These are not the only mental health disorders, but these are common mental health disorders. So when we see anxiety disorder are characterized by excessive worry, fear, or apprehension that is disproportionate to the actual threat or situations. So the symptoms will be and may include restlessness, irritability, muscle tension, difficulty of concentration, and sleep disturbance. So when we see the prevalence of anxiety disorders, anxiety affects approximately 1 in 3 people at the some point of in their lives. And also when depressive disorders, and such as major depressive disorder and persist persistent depressive disorder are characterized by persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and lose of interest or pleasure in activities. So the symptoms may range to depression, may include persistent low mood, fatigue, change in appetite or weight, sleep disturbance, and thoughts of death or suicide. So depressive disorders, when we see the prevalence, it causes of this, it causes of disability in the worldwide, and it is the cause of, sorry, the disability worldwide, and is estimated to affect over 264 million people globally. And when we see bipolar disorder, it involves cycle of mood change ranging from episode of depression to episode of mania. So when we see mania, it may include the sign of elevated mood, increased energy, impulsivity, and reduced need for sleep. When we see, while depressive symptoms of bipolar disorder are similar to those seen in major depressive disorders. So and it had the prevalence of affecting approximately 1 to 2% of the population. Sorry, affecting approximately 7 to 8% of the population at the same point in their lives. So, is there any question?
Ma'am, we have a separate question round. After this session, students are going to ask, candidates.
So I shall continue.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So when we see post-traumatic stress disorder, it can develop after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event such as combat, natural disaster, or physical assault. And the symptoms may include intrusive memories of or flashbacks, and avoidance of reminders of the traumatic event, and also negative change in mood or cognition, and increases arousal or reactivities. So these are just a few examples of common mental health disorders, but there are many others, each with its own unique characteristics and impact on individuals' lives. So it's important to remember that mental health conditions are complex and multifaceted, and if effective treatment often involves a combination of medication, therapy, and support from healthcare professionals and loved ones. So early recognition and intervention are key to improving outcomes and promoting recovery for individuals living with mental illness. So there are myths that are familiar for all of us on mental illness issues. So addressing these myths and misconceptions about mental illness and reducing stigma are crucial steps toward creating a more supportive and inclusive society. So here are some common myths and misconceptions about mental illness, along with strategies for challenging and debunking them. So the first one is, people say mental illness are rare or uncommon. But the fact is, mental illness is more common than many people realize. So according to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 4 people worldwide will experience a mental health disorder at some point in their lives. But so with the strategy of sharing statistics and research findings to highlight the prevalence of mental illness and emphasize that it can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, or social economy status, is important to tackle these myths. So and also people believe that mental illness is a sign of weakness or character flaw. So but the fact is, when mental illness is not a reflection of personal weakness or moral failing. So it is a medical condition that results from complex interactions between biological, psychological, and environmental factors. So as a strategy, we can challenge this by promoting empathy, understanding, and compassion towards individuals living with mental health conditions. So, and also people say people with mental illness are dangerous and violent. But the fact is, the majority of people with mental illness are not violent, and in fact, they are more likely to be victims of violence than others. So we can challenge this by sharing accurate information about the low rates of violence among individuals with mental health conditions and highlighting the importance of treating all individuals with dignity and respect. The fact is, it is highly treatable with appropriate interventions, including medication, as I mentioned before, therapy, and support services. So recovery is possible, and many people with mental illness go on to lead fulfilling and productive lives. So as a strategy, we can educate others about the effectiveness of various treatment options for mental illness and share stories of hope and recovery to inspire optimism and reduce feelings of hopelessness or despair. So last but not least, people say that and believe that people with mental illness should just snap out of it or just get over it. So, but it is not something that can be overcome through sheer willpower or positive thinking. It requires understanding, support, and access to appropriate treatment and resources. So, by encouraging empathy and understanding, by emphasize that mental illness is a real and legitimate health condition that deserves validation and support, just like any other illnesses. We can strategize to tackle those problems, so or those beliefs. So, by challenging myths and misconception about mental illness and promoting understanding, empathy, and support, we can help reduce stigma and create a more inclusive, supportive environment for all individuals affected by mental health conditions. So, here are some factors that impact mental health. Uh, Unfortunately, I will not go so deep, but generally, mental health is influenced by a complex interplay of biological, psychological, social, and environmental factors. So, understanding these factors and their interactions is essential for promoting mental health, preventing mental illness, and providing effective intervention and support for individuals in need. So, promoting mental health and well-being involves adopting a holistic approach that encompasses various strategies and practices. So, the first one is prioritizing self-care activities that nurture our physical, emotional, and psychological well-being, such as getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, staying physical active, and practicing relaxation technique like deep breathing or meditation will help to us a self-care. So one thing I usually remember from my childhood was when I usually cry on silly things. You know, where we are a child, we cry over silly things that even have a negative impact on our mental health and well-being. So even when and my mother on this time my mother said me that to maintain and keep my mental health and everything comes after. So even when our children are not in the position to take care of themselves, um, we should we should take the position to take care of themselves. We should take the responsibility to keep their mental state more healthier, starting from their food and their well-being and so on. So we should always remind our children that nothing is more than our mental health and nothing is permanent. So once we cross the line, there is no coming back, as you all know. So once we reach in the point where we cannot fight life challenges. So that's why people most of the time choose suicide when they reach this point. But which should not be as taken as a solution. So and also as strategy and practice, we should learn and practice stress management techniques such as mindfulness, meditations, progressive muscle relaxations, guided imageries to reduce a stressful level and promote relaxations. And we should also set boundaries and prioritize relationships that contribute to our well-being while minimizing interactions with toxic or negative individuals. So, and also we should practice adaptive coping skills such as problem solving, positive self-talk, and seeking social support to effectively navigate stressful situations and bounce back from adversity. So, and lastly, we should regularly take relaxation breaks throughout our day to unwind and recharge, and whether to take I don't know, taking a walk in nature, listening to music, or practicing deep breathing exercises. So by incorporating these strategies and practices into our daily life, we can promote mental health and well-being, enhance resilience, and cultivate a greater sense of balance, fulfillment, and happiness. And we should remember that prioritizing our health is essential for living a meaningful and fulfilling life. So self-care is not selfish. So um, when we come to the point where how can we individuals contribute to mental health and well-being? So uh, the first thing is to educate ourselves. So learning about mental health issues, understanding the signs and symptoms of common disorders, and debunking myths and misconceptions surrounding mental illness can help reduce stigma and promote understanding. And also, by promoting open dialogue, we encouraging open and honest conversation about mental health within the family, community, and workplace, creates a supportive environment where individuals feel comfortable seeking help and support. And also by being there for friends, family members, or colleagues who may be struggling with their mental health, by offering a listening ear, providing emotional support, and helping them access resource and professional help when needed. So, and also we should, as I mentioned earlier, we should practice self-care. So by prioritizing self-care activities such as exercise, adequate sleep, healthy eating, relaxation techniques, and hobbies can be can be helpful in managing stress and improve mood and maintain overall well-being. So the other thing is we can uh, uh, we can reduce the stigma. So challenging the negative stereotypes and attitudes surrounding mental illness by speaking out against discrimination, using respectful language, and advocating for equal treatment and opportunities for individuals with mental health conditions. So creating inclusive environments that value diversity and support individuals of all backgrounds fosters a sense of belonging and acceptance, which is essential for mental health and well-being. So uh, uh, one interesting thing is we can advocate for change. So getting involved in advocacy effort to improve access to mental health service, increase funding for research and treatment, and promote policies that support mental health parity and awarenesses. So when the moment you become to attend this session, also I believe you already began the journey of your mental health advocacy journey. So I want to also to congratulate you all of you to have this influence in people's with mental illness. So the other thing is modeling healthy behaviors, coping strategies, and attitudes toward mental health can inspire others to prioritize their well-being and seek help when needed. And we keep by keeping up to date with the latest research developments and resource in the field of mental health allows individuals to make informed decisions about their own well-being and support others effectively. Lastly, we recognizing when they need support and seeking help from trusted professionals such as therapists, counselors, and support groups is crucial for maintaining mental health and resilience. So by taking these actions, individuals can play a significant role in promoting mental health and well-being for themselves and also others in their communities. So thank you for your time and attention during this presentation on prioritizing mental health and well-being. So your engagement and participation are greatly appreciated. But before I conclude, I want three hands who can share as how do you think the information shared today could be applied to your personal or professional lives, and also what key insights or harnessing learnings did you learn from the presentation? So I will conclude finally. Ma'am, I will hand over the opportunity for you to select
Am I audible?
participants.
Am I
Yeah.
audible? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hibralem. The session is really very motivated and informative. Now I invite some of our participants for the questioning session. I think Grazia want to ask something. Twinkle Sharma, if you want to ask, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, it was a nice session and I really love it. Ma'am, but I have some doubts. Ma'am, I found that overthinking is a major problem for mental health. So I want to ask that how one can cope up with overthinking. Hello?
Yes, Twinkle. Dear Hibralem, can you answer the question?
She's on mute.
Twinkle, wait, please.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I can hear. So
Yes,
it's a
Hibralem.
great question. So a great question. So coping with overthinking, whether it's in the context of professional competitions, personal achievements, or social comparisons, can be challenging, but it is manageable. So some strategies can be, I recommend that to focus on our own journey. So instead of fixating on others' progress, so we should concentrate on our own goals, values, and growth, and remind ourselves that everyone's path is unique, and comparison only distracts from our own fulfillments. And also we can practice gratitudes, set realistic expectations, and seek support. We can also seek support at this point. And also we can embrace a growth mindset, so we can adopt a mindset focus on learning and improvement rather than fixing notion of success or failure. So by adopting the coping strategies, we can navigate overthinking and with resilience, where we can resilience so with grace, and ultimately staying focused on our own journey and I think our personal fulfillment. I think I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Any of our participants? Yes, Sapomia. Grazia, Avdesh, any of the participants? Is there any participants to ask question, please?
Yeah, maybe I can go. So mine is not a question, just appreciation and to say thank you for the Pahal Horizon and also for Hibralem. I think for those of you who don't know, like Ethiopia will celebrate tomorrow Easter. So most of the burdens for the holiday will fall for a woman. And I would like to thank you, Hibralem, because she is dedicating her time to prepare and share uh, about mental health and the strategies how we can cope up with such challenges. So I would like to thank Hibralem for taking her time and sharing with us. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. My pleasure, Afomia.
Thank you, Afomia. Now, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Hibralem for an enlightening talk on mental health. Your expertise and passion for the mental health issues shone through and made the session incredibly informative and impactful for the participants. Your insights into managing stress and fostering mental well being is not only invaluable, but also deeply resonated with all of us personally. I'm also thankful to our participants who attended this talk, and I hope that you all have got invaluable insights and connections for the mental health awareness. Yes, mental health is incredibly important and encompasses our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act, but also influences how we handle the stress, how we relate to others, and how we make the choices. So, at present, mental health awareness is crucial for reducing stigma, promoting understanding, and encouraging people to seek help when needed. Thank you, Hibralem, once again for sharing your valuable knowledge and experience with us. Your dedication for raising awareness about mental health issues is truly commendable and inspiring. Thank you, Hibralem.
Uh, I'm glad to hear that the presentation sparked some thoughtful, provoking insights for you. And it's inspiring to see how different perspectives can enrich our understanding of this topic. So I would like to conclude my presentation. So as I concluded, I want to encourage each of you to continue this conversation about mental health in your communities by raising awareness, reducing stigma, and fostering supportive environments which we can create a culture where mental health is prioritized and everyone feels supported and understood. So remember, small actions can make a big difference. And whether it's checking in on a friend or sharing a resource or advocating for a better access to mental health care, and every effort counts. Together, we can create a world where mental health is valued and everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you so much once again for your commitment to mental health and well-being. Let's continue this important conversation and work towards a brighter and more compassionate futures for all. So you can contact me with those sites, social media sites, and also with my mobile phone number and email address. So for last, I would like to say, taking care of our mental health is just as important as take care of our physical health. It is not a luxury, it's a necessity. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ibrahim. We always try to do whatever you have suggested to deal with the mental issues. I think
Thank
we
you so
all
much.
feel
Yeah.
okay, okay. Now we are ending the session, so all the participants can leave the session or meeting.